Hey, this is Lewis from SoFly, and in this video, I'll show you how to use Element Studio to add spacing bars to your elements. Let's make a new element. I'm going to call this one Spacing Bars Demo, and let's add a control section to the design controls called Test, and let's add this element to the page. We don't see anything yet, of course. Let's add a preset, and let's choose Spacing Margin Y, and we're just going to call this Spacing. And let's open it up, and we have margin top and margin bottom. And you notice we have other presets for spacing that control horizontal, for example, X spacing or margin all. We strongly advocate against using horizontal margin or horizontal padding to space things out. You should use gap. Flexbox gap is a far superior way to do that, and that is the way I'm using Breakdance in this video. That is the way all the elements in Breakdance are designed to work. I recommend sticking with that convention for creating your own elements. Okay, we've added spacing margin Y. Let's add some spacing bars. So let's take a look at the section element. Here's a section element. And the spacing bars are just the thing on the edge of the element that you can click and drag to add spacing. And then it just automatically sets the value for you right there. Okay, let's go to our spacing bars demo element and let's add some spacing bars. So to do that, we're going to go to spacing bars. So in the special properties tab here, go to spacing bars and add new spacing bar. And we're going to enter in the CSS property on the root element that this spacing bar is going to affect. So it's going to affect margin top. And then we're going to set the location. Because this is responsive, we're going to have to use %, breakpoint, %, and it's giving us the correct path to use already. Well, sorry, not quite the correct path. It's saying dot top, but this is actually margin top. So it's going to be design dot spacing dot breakpoint dot margin top. Let's save that. And now let's leave the element and come back. And we can't get to the top because the title bar is covering it right now. Let's just make this element a little bit bigger. And then we should be able to go to the top of the element, and we can set margin top. Let's do the same for margin bottom. So we go to special properties, add a new spacing bar, margin bottom, design dot spacing dot breakpoint, again because it's responsive, dot margin bottom. And we can mouse over the edge. And there you go. Margin top, margin bottom. Now these spacing bars aren't actually doing anything yet, and that's because we haven't written the necessary CSS. Let's go back to the design controls, go to the spacing preset, click the curly brace to get the code help, and let's paste that macro into our generated CSS like this. And now the spacing bars will actually work.